What up? Welcome to the show, the Belfield Show. Good evening, you guys. Pardon me. It's late, okay? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to give me a little something, a little snack to push this show through. The Crusades. Boy, you never thought, black guy would be putting on a 5 episode sermon about the Crusades, eh? So now that we're fully apprised about the Crusades, Peter the Hermit was a lowly pope. He wore the same old lowly garb, but he spoke with passion. He spoke with fervor. He spoke with such an energy that he amassed 40,000 people. Imagine, to bring 40,000 people with you on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. However, none of those people ever made it. And we realized that the Crusades took years and years and years of time to actually carry out. They penetrated little by little over years and years of time to get down to Jerusalem. So what happened was Peter the Hermit went in the first time, and it seems like everybody that he went with kind of got caught up in something. Either they were, hurt, or either they found a calling of the Lord, or maybe they went to help and gave aid, and they, found they couldn't leave, and they needed some more people to come. But Peter the Hermit kept going back, to Constantinople, kept going back to Rome to get more, kept going back to France to get more people to keep coming in, It was basically all him. He was there the whole time, trying to get people there. Eventually, they strove through with what they had, and they kind of made it haphazardly. A lot of people died, a lot of people were killed, but what comes out of this is clarity. We know exactly what goes on in the region. We know exactly who's there. We even have marriage records of everything that takes place. We have people being freed. We have the year of Jubilee taking place. We have lots of things happening that are recorded, that are in documented history of good things happening, of connection happening, and have them working together. Okay, so where we're at here is the situation. Why do all these people keep taking over this area, keep taking over this land? It's unclear. It's got us unfocused, and all we think is that the land is rotten or the land is weak, and so the next great powerful guy comes in and takes it over. Until I had a hypothesis. I was stuck in the middle of wars, the middle of fighting, and the middle of trying to find a reason for it all. And what I came across of was, everyone that takes over the road is going to get paid. You see that any kingdom that takes over the road flourishes for hundreds of years. So it would behoove a kingdom to actually want to do it. It's not like, oh, yeah, I know somebody wants to own all the land. You want somebody to take it all over. But really, in reality, it's important. It's more important that there's one clear system from end to end. There's lots of robbery, lots of theft. Even the Lord Jesus had lots of stories of the Good Samaritan. If someone is struck down by the way, are you going to help him, or are you going to take his goods, or are you just going to leave him there? You see what I'm saying? So there was a lot of this where the pathways in between cities are very crucial, okay? So I had an hypothesis. Why are we coming in giving up all this helping all these people? They're saying that there was murder, and there was raping, and there was pillaging and fighting. But what's happening? These are all things that go on when you're weak and you're riding on the road. Somebody can pillage you. Somebody can kidnap you, sell you into slavery. Somebody could sell you bad things and get you sick. There's lots of if there's no one to protect the road, no one clear system, a lot could happen. Just the animals alone would be enough to deter even the strongest families from taking certain pathways. Okay, so I had a hypothesis. The roads and the bridges. What is the half-life of the building materials used to build universal elements of the mass populous infrastructure? Like roads, bridges, wells, and dams. What is the half-life of those building materials? And I believe that after what I researched, every 300 years there'll be a civil unrest or a mass amount of people in discomfort. Now imagine a well running dry, or a plague of flies, or your cattle has run out of grazing land. See, the land's just going bad. It can't support the people that are here. So the people start to leave. So you got, 10% first gets out. Then another 10%. And then it comes. The landowner wants more money. There's less people here. I need more money from you guys. And the city wants more tax. Hey, the people are leaving out, so we need to up this tax to the people that are here. Okay? So now, we've pushed the people into a deal or no deal situation, where they must choose whether to stay or fight for something better. Now imagine 100 years ago. This is what blew my mind. 100 years ago, the main mode of transportation was horses. 100 years ago, there were no cars. 100 years ago, most of us were still on well water, meaning no running water. See, water was cut off. It was just more permanent. See, 100 years ago, the lights did get cut off. Except you just blew out the candle. See, there were no lights. Now, 100 years ago, there were still flat tires. Right? Now, think of a pothole. Now, if 10 cars pop a tire in a hole in the ground, you can easily repair those tires. Everyone go to the shop. But you'll have 10 very pissed off people. If 10 people, horses, broke their leg in a pothole leading in or out of the city. This is almost like murdering 10 whole families. Once a horse or a camel breaks their leg, there's no way of saving it. You actually might need to kill the animal immediately to spare it from pain. Now, being out of lights or not having a car for a day might be, that might be a good excuse to get out of work for a little bit. But these situations that affect, these are situations that affect entire cities and even regions of multiple cities. See, we are people that heavily depend on shipping and quick travel. See, now you can see that keeping the infrastructure in proper working order, that's life or death. To save your animal's life, many will go out before without any animals to check or repair the road, right? To make sure it's safe. But not every road would get this special treatment. However, the roads that made money would. People and businesses that use the road as to earn a living would be highly invested in keeping this road safe and well kept. See, my hypothesis states that someone or some people, after the road was created, repaired the entire road with one type of building material. It seems that the Silk Road, which was once a series of footpaths and trailways, has now become an international highway, a highly traveled way. Most of the history of the world is here, but lost. The creation of the road was considered to be near 138 BC, with the expedition of Zhang Quan. However, he only traveled the Chinese portion. The Middle Eastern portion has far greater mystery. I believe it's because this portion was built upon sand. I believe because the East and the West have structures that have lasted much longer. See, Europe has doors that are more than 2,000 years old. China has bricks that are more than 1,000 years old. But in the Middle East, no, China has bricks that are more than 15,000 years old, excuse me. But in the Middle East, There are entire cities that are only known by historians or archaeologists. See, I was worried I'd find some war, some terrible act of violence, that the world is in disarray, that has the world in disarray. Excuse me. I thought there was a people responsible for our present situation. I never thought that our connection is what breaks the infrastructure down, city by city. And then all the people leave and abandon that city. Then the road breaks down because there's no one traveling it. And then I saw a domino effect happening that would make up for the plagues and the spreading of all disease. See, all the people leaving this region for stability or health reasons would put a great strain on whatever cities are near or whatever cities they go to. See, and like infected blood, every cell that bursts carries the disease further into new healthy cells until there isn't enough to sustain the people at all. And every city would be lost. I believe that every 300 years, this region is in desperate need of every resource we have. I believe that every 300 years, the roads don't just break down. They're completely gone. Although the pain and hurt of not knowing what's going on and not being able to fix any of what's going on, and knowing that it's the conditions, it's the state of things that why they are so bad. The status quo is why we have the status quo. What I have found is that we are working ourselves into a trap. We are not building and repairing on the scale of our growth. See, our city needed 50 new wells to keep the people healthy, but no one knew. So everyone got sick and died. See, there are no warnings. See, you need people with expertise. You need someone that has done this before, that knows what they're doing. You need someone good. You need someone great. Throughout time, we've had several meaningful people lead us into a new age of mankind, even during times of great turmoil. In fact, these times are the most unexplained events in history. I must tell you that in my research, I found several leaders that had prominent and lasting effects on the people of the world. And it just so happened, a few of these leaders are connected through faith. And I was shocked to find this list of some of the people that I would find written in history that coincided with my findings. These are names that line up with the 300-year period of me understanding that every 300 years the bricks break down. And every 300 years there is a strong man that leads us out and into a better plane of existence with one another. And that is our episode. I thank you for joining me on the Belfield Show. Next time we'll learn more about men that saved the world.